Hello everybody and welcome back to this morning show. It's me Vasam and Amaya keeping you company this morning, and we're talking to you about storytelling to your kids. And just before the break we were talking to Ashanti Pereira, who's a preschool teacher who has come up with a very innovative method of storytelling for your kids, and it's an interactive method. There's an element of storytelling and education brought into it as well, and unfortunately we had to go in for a break as she was explaining to us what it was all about. So we are going to have a look at her story sack, and Ashanti, over to you.
Yes, this is again like the 5 little speckled frogs, and then the nursery rhyme goes as 2 little speckled frogs.
Just hold it to the camera,
yes,
Ashanti, so that our viewers can have a good look.
Yes, 4 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bug. Yum yum. And one jumped into a pool when it was nice and cool. Now only how many? Then child count. 1, 2, 3 little frog.
I see.
Yes. So it goes like that. And there we can discuss a lot of things like learning points, where big frog, small frog.
Okay.
Then numbers. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can discuss about the colors, like light green, dark green, the shades, and obviously depending on the child's age we can talk about the habitats, where they live and what do they eat, why they eat bugs.
That's true.
Yes.
Wow, so many things that you can speak about in this one little rhyme.
Yes.
And that's all brought to life because of this story sack and the storyboard that you
exactly, and this is very attractive, the colors, and child can actually touch and feel, and they can do pretend play with that, like happy frog. Then we can ask the child to, okay, show me your happy face. So it's very interactive.
So this is something that you developed yourself, is it?
Yes, actually these concepts are very popular in Western countries, but I have introduced that in here and in my preschool as well, and I have tried these techniques with my own children. So it's very interesting. I really enjoy doing these things.
What made you come up with this idea, Ashanti?
It's learning by doing. It's very practical, and we can actually the child can actually participate, not just listen to a story. Okay, if I just read a book of 5 little speckled frog, then they will just listen to me and wait. But there we both can actually, it's very interactive. We can actually, both of us can do it, and maybe a family time.
So I can just
exactly.
I can imagine the child asking you over and over again to do the rhyme over and over again. But the only problem I see in this is that the mother will be tired doing the same thing over and over again. But it's so interactive and it's interesting, and there are so many other stories as well as other concepts that you brought into this story sack idea as well, right?
Yes,
let's talk about the other things that besides the 5 speckled frogs. So there's something else that's very interesting here. A lot of smiley faces.
Yes. This is
colorful.
Very colorful.
So these are magnets you've used, is it?
No, this is just felt board.
Okay.
And it just sticks on.
Wow. Okay.
So there we can teach the child about shapes. The oval, circle. And we can ask them. We can take them.
Okay.
Yes, and okay, this is what is this? It's a star, and they can actually relate. Okay, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Lot of things we can do, not like just reading a book. They can actually paste it, and they can play, touch and feel.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and they like all these little tiny things. The happy star.
And for what age is this kind of approach appropriate for? This particular approach?
I would say from 8, 9 months, or like from 1 year onwards, because due to the small parts. Yes.
So for infants,
should
really won't.
The supervision is needed. But apart from that, I think from 1 year onwards, it's important.
1.5, 2 is fine. So would you recommend even a mother who is at home? How can they go about making something like this? I mean, is it can it be done at home as well?
Yes, it can be done at home, and only thing. No, actually they can use paper, cardboard things, but only
just
thing they
the important aspect there is to have something that the child can touch,
feel, and it should be, I mean, child friendly.
And
Yes.
See, and of course, if these parents are a little too busy or preoccupied or too lazy to actually do it themselves, maybe they can get in touch with Ashanti and get a few of her. Right, Ashanti?
Because you've started to produce these for busy moms at home, right?
Yes.
So, in case they do want to get in touch with you, what could we give your email address out to our viewers?
Yes, it's ashantipereira25 @gmail.com.
Yeah, so that's ASHANTHI Pereira. Everyone knows how to spell Pereira. Ashanti Pereira 25 @gmail.com. So, if you need to get one of these, and if you're too busy to do it at home, drop her an email and she will definitely get in touch with you.
So Story Sack is going to be something great that you can introduce to your children as well, because again, like we mentioned on the show, and Arundhati as well as Ashanti mentioned, the fact that children need to touch and feel something, and that's when they will truly learn it. But you had brought up an interesting concept during the break.
Yeah, actually that's something I wanted to throw out, since that's the first thing that came into my mind, Amaya, as soon as I saw this really innovative idea. Which is something which I see happening lately a lot. As I said earlier during the break, technology is evolving to such an extent that everything is becoming digitalized, and I've seen so many parents just handing out iPads to their kids, just 2-3-year-olds, and they use it as a mechanism to get them preoccupied, and there are different apps that they use. They touch those, different games, there are apps for kids. So Arundhati, I need to ask you this.
Sorry, I'm so self-absorbed.
No problem.
Arundhati is having a good time with the Story
So I
Sack
need
as
to
well.
ask you, Arundhati, this whole concept of bringing in technology, or technology replacing a human touch, what are your comments on that?
There is no comparison, because as you said, that I think that every child needs to have a personal communication. This is the development of social and emotional skills. You can't do it with iPad. So I'm not criticizing the fact that we need to move into technology and experience that as well, but we need to strike a balance. When a child is that young, I mean, iPad is something, you are visually looking at it, you see it happening, but then where is the whole bond in it? You need the whole human touch, right?
And we spoke earlier in the show as well about how important the touch and that bond with their parents as well as their relatives are for a child's development. So I think we've introduced a very innovative concept here. Ashanti, you have just one more board that you'd like to show us today.
Yes, that's right. This is how we introduce opposites. It's just another way of introducing things. Now, there we have introduced the tall, short, happy, sad, the big and the small in very child-friendly manner. The trees, it's all about nature basically, and there we can talk about emotions, happy face, sad face, grumpy face. We can actually do a lot of pretend play with these ones. So, as we mentioned earlier,
a lot of emotional growth there.
Yes, exactly.
Again, a brand new concept of teaching your child and really helping them to grow as a person, definitely. I mean, their personality will develop a lot, especially when you talk about things like emotions, this kind of child-friendly way, then it becomes it's easier for the parent as well to ease into that topic and to really engage in that conversation with their child.
As I said, it should be experience, it should be just not words narrated.
Yeah, yes. So thank you so much. I think that's all the time we have for this segment, but thank you so much, Ashanti as well as Arundhati. As always, she comes up.
Thank you for entertaining these two kids.
Yes, actually. That is also very true. So we have another great segment coming up for you this morning as well, right, Wissam?
Yeah,
so
we
we'll go
do.
for a very short break right now, but do stay with us here on Good Morning Sri Lanka, and we'll be right back.
Bye-bye.